Hi guys, welcome to another Ned's Tool Talk video. Today's video we're gonna be talking about Ryobi's shop vacuum. So 18 volt cordless vacuum for your garage, for your tools. You can vacuum your car, with it of course. But yeah, one of the older models, the newer model, looks a little bit different to this one. Actually, give me a second, I'll show you a photo. So the newer model, pretty much the same vacuum, bit of a design change, a little bit more power from it. It looks exactly like that. $199. Bunnings wants my location. I'm not gonna allow that. Anyways, so the new version of this vacuum is $199. This version used to be $149. You can scoop up these things on Facebook Marketplace for around $100 or sub $100 in a little bit worse for wear condition. Now, if you're gonna do that, keep in mind that there's an attachment here, crevice tool attachment. There's another wide nozzle attachment there. And inside, make sure you get a filter, okay? Because if you don't get those things, if you're buying it used, no good. Not good for you because you can't almost use the vacuum. Anyways, so a couple of specific things about this vacuum. It stores its hose right on the top there, okay? And it's got a handle that clicks in a place. So when it clicks like that, it's not gonna go anywhere. And then when you fold it down, also clicks in a place, it's gonna stay as it is. The hose is fairly flexible. It extends about 1.5 meters away from the vacuum. It's rubbery plasticky, but it feels heavy. And what I find is when you're vacuuming with this thing, your car or something, you gotta have vacuum very close to yourself, because this hose itself, 1.5 meters is not much when you're vacuuming a car or when you're using your drop saw or something. So in the case of vacuuming the car, you're gonna be, see, I'm barely 1 meter away and it's pulling the vacuum for itself. So for the car, that's not a big deal because your vacuum is gonna be on the ground, it's gonna come to the car and then you're gonna be stretching the hose. It's plastic, it's not gonna damage your car. But if you're using this, vacuum on the, for example, cordless circular saw. I'm sorry, I've got a brain freeze. So on a cordless circular saw, or if you're using it on a Ryobi or any other brand for that matter, track saw, then this short hose becomes a problem because you need to have this vacuum on top of whatever you're doing so it can, so the saw can work. And if you're making a longer cut, you're gonna get to the point where your vacuum is there, your hose is at its limit, and then with your saw you're gonna start dragging your vacuum, which is result you in not having an accurate cut. So in that case, and for that matter, I am not a big fan of this hose. And it's just heavy. I've got plenty of vacuums and they got much better types of a hose than this vacuum. Now for me that's one downside of this vacuum. Also this hose, it clips very nicely here and it stays in there, no issues for that. Now at the front here, of course, you're gonna be storing your battery. Right there is gonna be your on and off switch. It's a very nice and clicky switch. It gives you a nice feedback. And it's nice and bright grayish color, so you can't mix up whether your vacuum is on or off. Right at the back of the vacuum or front, on the front actually, you're gonna have a crevice tool. This crevice tool is pretty good. Now I don't like one thing about Ryobi vacuum crevice tools. This angle here is not sharp enough. I'd like this angle to be a little bit more. In fact, I've bought crevice tools, aftermarket crevice tools in Bunnings, and I've cut them on a drop saw and I made this angle more, because when you're vacuuming your car with this crevice tool, you gotta be very, very upright, almost on 90 degrees to be vacuuming it. I like my hand to be more like this. So when you're vacuuming like that, you're not scooping up anything of the carpet in your car. So that's a That's a crevice tool. Some of you might like it, I personally don't. On this side, you've got an exhaust port or blower port of the vacuum. And to use that is why you need this tool. That's why I said if you're buying it used on marketplace, make sure all the attachments are with the vacuum. So to use the blower port, you're gonna drop this attachment in there. It's gonna clip in. You're gonna, you're gonna do this. You're gonna undo your hose from there. Which side goes in? This side. You're gonna put that side in. You turn the vacuum, and now you got yourself a small blower in your garage or shop. You can blow off some sawdust or something off your table. I'm gonna show you how it works as well. Now that's just another feature of the vacuum. It's not a particularly strong blower for any matter, but if you need to get some sawdust or something off, it's gonna do the trick. Now, one more thing is, this is wet/dry vacuum. Okay. If you're using it for vacuuming the normal stuff, you're gonna use it with a filter. Okay, on there, it's just twist and off. This filter, you wanna maintain regularly. You wanna clean it out after every couple of uses. Shake it off, dust it out with a compressor, or if you don't have a compressor, wash it out under strong jet of water. Do not use pressure washer. Garden hose with a garden hose gun, it's more than sufficient to clean this out. Also, make sure before you put this back in a vacuum, leave it out on the air in your garage or outside. Let it dry nicely. Don't wash it. Clip it on a vacuum, put it in there. It's never gonna wash because it's got a seal and it's gonna become moldy, smelly. You're gonna turn your vacuum on, it's gonna suck up moisture and you got problems. Okay, because the wet filter on a vacuum is no good. Now, another thing is, if you wanna use it to vacuum up some water, you're gonna, this hose, man. If you wanna use this vacuum to vacuum up some water, you're gonna take your filter off and you're gonna use it like this. So there's a bowl right there, which is gonna be sitting in there. So when the vacuum sucks up enough water, this is gonna be this acts like a float, and it's gonna come up and it's gonna seal right up in there. Okay, so it's gonna seal. There's gonna be no more suction and no more water is gonna be vacuumed up in the vacuum. So that's how the wet section of the vacuum works, to say so. This is how it looks inside. Of course, this is a used vacuum. I've just cleaned it up a little bit. Now also keep in mind and pay attention to when you're reassembling the vacuum. The side where your wide angle tool is attached has got a bit of a protrusion inside the vacuum box. Your filter side is gonna be on opposite of that. So this, if you turn the other way, is gonna be a little bit in an obstruction on that corner. So you kind of want to put it like that always. That's it. It's not a written rule. That's at least what I prefer. Okay. So I like to give my filter as much space, free space and area as possible. Last but not least, this vacuum in particular, the older vacuum, model number is R18PV, which means Ryobi 18 Project Vac, and that's what it's called. The dust storage capacity is 11 liters, and it says vacuum is made in Indonesia, which for us in Australia is a next door neighbor almost. Okay, so as usual with my vacuum reviews, my wife's car is always dirty because she's the one that holds kids all day long. So now we gotta give it a bit of a test and vacuum up the car, and let's see how this thing sucks. Before we start vacuuming, there's one thing about this vacuum that I really dislike, and this bothers me the most out of everything, out of all the negatives that I've mentioned. Before that, I use this vacuum on a 4, 5, 6 amp hour battery. 2 amp hours is gonna go like that. 5 amp hour battery, depending on how much pressure you're putting on and how much vacuum is working, it's about 15 to 20 minutes runtime. Again, depending on a usage, but 15 to 20 minutes runtime on a 5 amp hour battery. 2 amp hour, 5, 6, 7 minutes, you're done. Okay, so one thing that I dislike the most with this vacuum is the noise. Okay, it's a, I'm not gonna say overly noisy vacuum, but I'm gonna say it's a noisy vacuum with a very high pitch sound. Not sure if my mic is gonna be able to take up that sound, but I'll turn it on. So to me, that is, I can tell you, my kids are not gonna be in a garage with me when I'm using this vacuum. No chance. This is too loud. It's too much of a high pitch noise. Now, just for comparison sakes, now this is Ryobi's vacuum, and this is my beloved Bosch vacuum. This is so much more manageable and quieter and much lower pitch as well. I'm not saying that Bosch is not loud, it's loud, but it's much more manageable sound. So let's get this vacuuming on the way. So I've put a crevice tool with my least favorite angle on. Vacuum's on. And this is on a 5 amp hour battery. Just want to show you, see the vacuum? That's how much of a hose you roughly have. So if I try to push the vacuum a bit back, see that? It's coming with me. I don't like that. So for a little bit more of a test, you can probably already tell that the kid sits here. Now the floor mats in Mazda vacuum up very nicely, but the carpets are disgusting quality and they're very hard to vacuum up. So this is going to be a very good test for Ryobi. And you can't see, but right now I'm pushing the vacuum back with my leg because it's trying to come with me. This is a very good friend. It follows you almost like a dog. And see what I mean by crevice tool? Because angle, if you have it like this, it does nothing. You gotta have it like this to put the vacuum under some workload and to suck up some dust. And when you put it upright, it's not a comfortable position for the hand. It just isn't. Alright, so I just finished vacuuming up the car, and I finished it off the camera. There was, with camera and off camera, maybe 10-12 minutes altogether. And this battery it was on 2 bars a second ago. It cooled off maybe a tiny bit, and now it's on 3 bars. But I betcha if you put this battery in this vacuum for another 20 seconds, it's gonna be down on 2 bars. So, because batteries are known when they just on the tools working and you stop the tool and check the battery, it's gonna show a little bit less of what it is. Anyways, I got myself confused there. So just finished vacuuming the car. Battery is on 3 bars. That's essentially 2 bars because that's probably another couple of seconds it'll be down. I don't dislike the vacuum. I'm not trying to be negative about it. It's a pretty good vacuum. It's just I don't like the hose. There's just a couple of those things. I don't like the hose on the vacuum. I think it's too short and it's too rigid, and I don't like the noise of the vacuum. It's too loud. Vacuum is capable. It's strong enough to vacuum up the car quite nicely. I am a bit of a OCD with cars and cleaning, and it does the job for me. I mean, I wouldn't ask for more. I mean, more is always better, but it's not necessary. So it's a pretty good vacuum in my terms. Now, if you're gonna scoop one up, 100-ish bucks, you're not gonna go wrong. Is the new one much better than this one? I can't really tell you. I haven't tried it. If they just fixed up the hose and lowered the high pitch noise of it, it probably is worth those $199. Now, also that being said, there's a lot of other brands vacuums for about there or slightly bit more that have much better vacuums that you can pick up and buy. So it all depends on personal preference. But that being said, guys, pretty good tool. Couple of downsides to it, but many positives as well. Yeah, you're not gonna make a mistake buying one. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Ciao.